Tell them. Come and talk to me. I really want to meet you, girl. I really want to know your name.
This is DM3 Entertainment Live, where this is the show that I react to videos, may have guests on my panel, and I take calls, talk to you. Sit back, relax, and let's get started. Let's go.
Really turning me on, blow my mind every time I see you. Y'all help me out. You are so sexy, you really turn me on, blow my mind every time I see your face, girl. I like where you at now.
What's up, YouTube? Throw one in the room if you can hear my voice. I'm back with another one, and you know how I do. I definitely hit you with a little sounds, a little music before I get started. So we're gonna rock out like that. And here we go. I'm gonna throw you back a little bit, hit you with a little old school action. Let's go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Chill, Will, and Baron B. Make the crowd come alive to check out the science I'm about to drop. Because swing. Say what? On the string, like that. You know what? I'm like a lion from Mount Zion, upon the hill, move closer. Feels like a roller coaster with the thrill, just dropping and never stopping until it reaches every hip hopper or bebopper in the streets. A man of mission, tradition, fun plus action. Get fresh, won't rest until the job is done. Lights, cameras, action. Come on. Hey, now I seen stars in all different forms. Some are ambitious and love to perform a lot, and some drive up and down the block like a big shot. And hey, why not? Because the girlies all with it, and look at you as a czar in a car, a neighborhood superstar. And Romeo, out there you are, just driving and ruling, leaning back, cooling, growing and showing and knowing girlies be drooling about you, and if not about two, about face can't leave your place. Got your whole neighborhood lost in space. You destroyed your community, killed your unity, smashed all dreams, our hopes and opportunities. You know what? I'm not mad at you. You're just doing what you seen the next man do. Now every kid on the block is hugging on your jock, and you fronting like you were really real hard rock. Soft as a pebble, working hard for the devil, but you and the devil are on a whole different level. You got a chance to grow, cause you now know that the man who made all the way to heaven and the show is coming extra firm and full of determination. Collaboration of a new creation, giving you the incentive to who you are. And remember, Son, on the string. Hey yo, here's a real short story about a girl I knew who was very close friends of the Get Fresh crew. She was living wrong and hung out all night long. That's why I had to mention her in this song. She had a real nice shape, got high as an escape, and just loved to hear her deaf hip-hop tapes of the latest, greatest MC clones. And the names right now I'm gonna leave unknown. She was too quick to slick and trick, but wasn't sure pick from any man who was out to stick and caress her body, him and everybody, young and dumb, and was a stone cold hottie. Working 9 to 5 right on the app, but what she have and not need and not have. And when I drive by, she always say hi, and I'm not that fly that I can't reply back, even though I know she's not up to par. Yeah. Leave it there. Leave it there. Swing on it. 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 Swing on it.
Yeah, that was Dougie Fresh. I took y'all back, way back. You know, like it said in the song, everybody loves a star. And that's the whole thing. It's still going on to today. You know, everybody's chasing stars and being starstruck, and whatever a star does, they want to do, and tend not to have any type of moral compass. So as y'all notice in this video that I did, or I put out, it says Dwyane Wade's son tries to honor Kobe, but honestly disrespects Kobe. And for those listening to it, if you go on your agendas of rocking with the LGBTQ, or you feel like I'm trying to disrespect them, I ain't trying to disrespect nobody. What I'm trying to make it understood that we as a people, there's a lot of things that we got to get together. And that's definitely one of them, that we got to make it understood that some things are just not needed to be put out on Front Street. But before I get started with that, you know, I'm always giving you like gems and different things that I have seen that's very important. And the video, listen to the audio, because I try to put this together real quick. And I guess the screen is not really big, but listen to what they're saying. It's very important. And I'm gonna get into more after y'all hear this. Check it out.
Bored. We're all bored now. But has it ever occurred to you, Wally, that the process that creates this boredom that we see in the world now may very well be a self-perpetuating, unconscious form of brainwashing created by a world totalitarian government based on money, and that all of this is much more dangerous than one thinks, and it's not just a question of individual survival, Wally, but that somebody who's bored is asleep, and somebody who's asleep will not say no? See, I keep meeting these people. I mean, just a few days ago, I met this man whom I greatly admire. He's a Swedish physicist, Gustav Bjornstrand, and he told me that he no longer watches television, he doesn't read newspapers, and he doesn't read magazines. He's completely cut them out of his life because he really does feel that we're living in some kind of Orwellian nightmare now, and that everything that you hear now contributes to turning you into a robot. When I was at Findhorn, I met this extraordinary English tree expert who had devoted his life to saving trees. Just got back from Washington, lobbying to save the redwoods. He's 84 years old. He always travels with a backpack because he never knows where he's going to be tomorrow. And when I met him at Findhorn, he said to me, "Where are you from?" And I said, "New York." He said, "New York, yes, that's a very interesting place. Do you know a lot of New Yorkers who keep talking about the fact that they want to leave but never do?" And I said, "Oh, yes." And he said, "Why do you think they don't leave?" I gave him different banal theories. He said, "Oh, I don't think it's that way at all." He said, "I think that New York is the new model for the new concentration camp, where the camp has been built by the inmates themselves, and the inmates are the guards, and they have this pride in this thing they've built. They've built their own prison, and so they exist in a state of schizophrenia, where they are both guards and prisoners, and as a result, they no longer have, having been lobotomized, the capacity to leave the prison they've made, or to even see it as a prison." And then he went into his pocket and he took out a seed for a tree and he said, "This is a pine tree." He put it in my hand and he said, "Escape before it's too late." See, actually for 2 or 3 years now, Chiquita and I have had this very unpleasant feeling that we really should get out. And we really should feel like Jews in Germany in the late 30s. Get out of here. Of course, the problem is where to go, because it seems quite obvious that the whole world is going in the same direction. See, I think it's quite possible that the 1960s represented the last burst of the human being before he was extinguished. And that this is the beginning of the rest of the future now. And that from now on, there'll simply be all these robots walking around, feeling nothing, thinking nothing. And there'll be nobody left almost to remind them that there once was a species called a human being, with feelings and thoughts. And that history and memory are right now being erased, and soon nobody will really remember that life existed on the planet.
Yeah, I had to play that for y'all because as you listen to what he's talking about, the future is now. If you notice, people are running around, really don't think for themselves, actually walking around sleepwalking, will be pushed into any mindset or anything that the mass media says is okay to do. Morality is out the window. And I had to just let people hear that because that was made back in 1981. knowing that kind of stuff like that was coming. And we're in that time now. Now, like I said, I did this video to start it out because during the week, they had people was honoring Kobe Bryant because, he passed. And, he was a great ball player, a good man, showing us the example of a man on his purpose, doing what he needed to do to make it happen, to love his family, the whole nine. But one of the things that came to the forefront was that, and I'll show you. There we go. I'll go back again. Go back a little bit. Pause that. As we all know, it keeps going forward. I'm stopping again. Go back. Now pause. Now, let's see. Hopefully now to stay still. Now, as y'all see, we have Dwyane Wade's son, and I'm gonna say son because I'm not with all that gender swapping and whatnot. Whatever you were born as, that's what you are. And there's no disrespect because you're not getting physically harmed by someone acknowledging what God made you. Now, if you choose to want to, at the age of 18 and when you're an adult, want to choose to live a different lifestyle, that's on you. But the young man here wanted to put on a dress or a somewhat form of a dress to honor Kobe Bryant. And I had said on a post that was on Facebook, I said that's not honoring Kobe, that's disrespecting Kobe. Because Kobe has never shown any type of femininity in his lifetime that we know of. Now, I've heard that people say he supported the LGBTQ, but I don't know how much that is fact or not. But we all know that he lived his life like a straight heterosexual man, So I just felt the need that I needed to speak on this because, see, one thing we have to start realizing is that those who still have more what they call have a moral compass and feel and know by what they follow is incorrect, they should speak on it. Now, no one is saying that you have to be a violent person towards someone else, but you can speak on it just like they speak on it. We can give our opinion, and our opinion is we didn't. That's not cool at all. So, as I gave my opinion, I got a lot of likes, but I also got some people that thought it wasn't cool. Now, let me see if I move forward. Okay. Now, this person here, they felt that it's no time to be having some type of agenda for the LGBT. If you wanted to support them, just rock some Kobe's, put on the sneakers or put a jersey on and rock out. Because even young girls dress like that. It's not, you don't have to put on a dress and do that. And it's not cool. All right, now I tried to do some other stuff, but I noticed that I couldn't read it. And I don't think you guys can read it either. So I'm going to move forward to the ones I can read. Now, this one here, someone that wrote me and it was like, said it wasn't necessary for me to make the statements I'm making and what I'm saying. And I responded to that person and I was like, it was very necessary just because your moral compass is not on the level of mine. That's your prerogative to believe in the propaganda that's spreading, and just like you left, just like she felt the need to make a statement on what I had to say, I have the right to make a statement about what the young man is doing, and people need to understand that and stop always thinking that we can't speak on stuff and we can't say things either. All right, moving on.
Do you know Gloria Steinem?
All right, so that was basically my feelings on that whole situation. Because I'm going to tell y'all people, Y'all got to start realizing that there are lots of agendas put out here to keep the melanated community separated. You know, they know that if it's ever a time that we become unified and become a group that can build and create great things, that's going to basically be the end of what they're doing. So they don't want this kind of stuff to happen. They don't want it to happen at all. So the reason also, like I said, bringing this up is because I just feel that's another agenda. Like we all know, in the 80s and the 90s, you had the drug epidemic of crack, and you had all the young men out there making money because there wasn't jobs and things like that, because a lot of the jobs that were blue collar, hands-on industrial jobs were leaving America. They were going to other countries. So young men couldn't graduate high school and get involved in jobs that their ancestors have been doing for decades. So as a man, you say you want to be able to provide. So they're not knowing. We knew, people like myself, we knew that it was a trap to get involved in selling drugs to your own community. But young men were like, hey, I got to make money. I got to take care of my kids. What Biggie, even Biggie had that in his rhymes, saying that he had to make money for his child. But the thing was, it was an agenda. It was something to keep us separated. And as y'all know today, the whole thing of having young men and young ladies confused about their sexuality, that also makes an agenda to keep the melanated community separated and destroyed. Now, this next thing that I'm going to get on to is this next part I'm going to get on to here is a young lady's going to break down the fact that, we always hear women always talking about they don't need no man. They don't need no man. And you say to yourself, where does that come from? And I'm going to let this young lady speak and give y'all an idea of where something like that, sprung up at. Now check out what she got to say.
Here, let me give you a hint. So I was reading an online article to which I came across something that I didn't know about Gloria. It talks about Gloria's new book, My Life on the Road, recounting her life, journeys, and travels. But look at the bottom paragraph. What is often missed or mischaracterized, however, is the work she did as a CIA agent. Steinem was a spook. Confused, I decided to dig a little deeper. Black feminism, the CIA, and Gloria Steinem. What follows is a fact sheet about Gloria Steinem's operations against the various social and political movements in America, particularly her role in creating a hateful and virulent strain of black feminism that attacks black men while partnering with the white establishment. Steinem first came across the radar of black men when she put a book called Black Macho and the Myth of the Superwoman by Michelle Wallace on the cover of Miss Magazine, to which she controlled. Let's read on. The book was written by a black feminist and activist, quote-unquote, named Michelle Wallace, who came out of nowhere. She was in her early 20s, yet she was being touted as the leader of black feminism. In the book, Wallace called abolitionists like Harriet Tubman and Sojourner Truth ugly and stupid for supporting black men. She called black revolutionaries chauvinist macho pigs and advised black women to go it alone. Go it alone? Do it alone? I don't know.
Sounds familiar, right? Do it alone. I don't need a man. I can do everything myself. And then everything that's strong about a man, they say that that's chauvinistic and it's not a good thing. Like I said, more agendas, people. We got to wake up. We got to realize this sexual agenda, this women don't need men agenda, this, the drug game, that's pretty much done. So we, United Agendas has done its part, and now they're moving on to other things. But let's continue.
Keep what Gloria said. Gloria Steinem said that Wallace's book would define the future of black relationships, and she pushed hard to make sure the book received massive publicity. Define the future of black relationships. What's the bottom line? The bottom line is the so-called black feminist movement was created and manipulated by the CIA from the very beginning. The only difference between black revolutionaries and black feminists on this issue is that black revolutionaries know they were infiltrated and manipulated, but black feminists are still unwilling to admit that they were infiltrated and manipulated, largely because they are highly invested in the hateful brand of black feminism. It is now a central part of the culture of Black women, and this fact has led to the destruction of the Black Revolution and the complete distortion of Black relationships. And the CIA had a direct hand in creating this situation. So, Black woman, Gloria Steinem, your American journalist, feminist, political, social political activist, and CIA agent, she was used to cause disunity in the Black family through the use of feminism. Remember that book we read earlier, the one on the Black myth by Michelle? She said that would be the future for Black relationships. Nothing positive in that book was written about the Black men. They were putting them down. So the next time you think about supporting her, ask yourself.
The future is now, people. The future is now. So, y'all got to start realizing that you being hoodwinked. You are being run amok constantly. This thing did not end in the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s. They are constantly trying to make us not focus on the prize. And the prize is a nuclear, melanated family doing big things. Ladies, y'all got to start realizing, come on. It takes the ladies to realize I got to shake this off and get back to my feminine ways. Because if you have a corrupt and a selfish woman, you're going to have a corrupt and selfish society, because the children are at the feet of the women when they're born, and you are their first example. So if you're the first example of this type of negative, toxic behavior, then it's going to be a real hard uphill battle that we've been going through. We want to stop this going uphill, pushing boulders. What we need to start doing is in being able to destroy these boulders, use them as fuel, and move forward as melanated people. Now, I got one more clip. I want y'all to check this out, and we'll continue talking. Check it out. Listen to what this young lady had to say.
What successful men need is more of the woman who supports, not the woman who time and energy is going to be competitive. And not that it has to be competitive, but there's a balance that's required. When you're both busy, you're both successful, you're both famous, you're both wealthy. There's a different thing. There's a different dance you have to do. And at that time, I just don't think we were mature enough to know how to dance.
Yes, people. I hit you with that clip too, because that's the reality of it. Men don't want to be competing with their woman. They want a woman that's going to support him and be a helpmate so they can build together. That's like a captain of a ship having a co-pilot. And a co-pilot is constantly steering the plane in a whole nother direction. And the captain is like, what are you doing? And you argue back and forth. You're not going to get anywhere. You're just going to be flying all over the place, not getting to your destination. And we got to get to our destination, people. So we have to start realizing what we've been doing for the last decade after decade after decade. It's not working. So we better start figuring some other things out. Look at it, ladies. Yeah, you go to school, get your education. You want to be a boss chick. You want to be an entrepreneur. You want to get all the degrees you want. But say to yourself, think about it. Is all of that helping you? Are you truly going to be a woman in your 30s, 40s, 50s, happy by yourself? And men want to be with women, but they don't want to deal with a headache. They don't want to deal with somebody they got to come home to and argue and be at combat. This is not something they want. So I just rocked out with this video because I wasn't on for the last 2 weeks, because I'll be like, man, I don't know what I'm going to talk about. So I got to try to be as consistent as possible with videos. Like basically on Sundays, I really want people to call up. I really want people to talk to me and talk with me, and we can have, discussions about different things, and it'll work more like, what they call a town meeting type thing. Let me bounce my ideas off of you. You bounce your ideas off of me, because the whole goal is for us as melanated people to be the victors and stop being the victims, because we've been the victims for just too long, very much too long. And it's time for us to galvanize together and get ourselves together. And the way we do that is, one, find out what our faults are and fix them. And don't take it as a disrespect that a man is telling a woman what she should do to make it better and easier for her to deal with a man. Because you definitely hear, we as men, we always hear what we need to be doing. And men who are men will tell other men, you need to step your game up. What you're doing is not working, If you're not taking care of your business, then you're not a man. You got to be a person who knows his responsibility and take care of his responsibility. And that's all we're saying. So to end this, like I said, me talking about Dwyane Wade's son was not a disrespect. It was to enlighten those to understand that that's another agenda that they're trying to destroy the melanated family with, to get our young men and women confused, so that if they're not procreating with us, then we as a community die out, because it's not us being smart people building with smart people. It'll still be people of color all on the planet, because if we count each other together, we are way bigger than any other colored people on the planet. Everybody who has melanin in their skin, we one family. We just speak different languages. But if you melanated, we family. Like I said, we just speak different languages, and we all got to get on the same page so that you start growing in the right way, especially my melanated Americans. You definitely got to get it right. And for those who know their ancestry and know that they're indigenous Americans, let us get together. Let's build and show a good and a proper example of how melanated people need to be moving. No bickering, no arguing, none of that. Let's get it. Let's be tight, and let's keep things going the way they should. And sisters, you need a man. Stop saying that you don't need a man, because men need women and women need men. God made us to be helpmates and to be together and deal with this wicked world that we got today. Because we can't do it alone. We got to do it together. So I'm not going to say too much more. And like I said, as time goes on, hopefully I'll start getting people in here to, talk with me. So like I always do, this is your man, Smooth DJ Abdullah the Butcher. Oh yeah. And if you got time, go to my videos and go check out some of my older videos that y'all haven't checked out. And I even got some slow mixes and stuff for those who want to bring their romance back in their life. Go look for those. Go look for the Sexiest Mixtapes, Volume 1 and 2. And I'm telling you, get some wine, get some candles, lay back and chill with your lady, and you'll have a good time. But I'm out of here. I'll talk to y'all later. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Until next Sunday. Oh yeah, and be on the lookout for any videos I put out during the week. And I'll catch y'all next Sunday. All right?
I better find your heart, 'cause I don't wanna play no game. No. it right there. Before we go, we wanna let you know I'm better for your loving. We better find